Hold on, I'm coming. I had to see y'all for the day. Like, I haven't seen y'all. Right? Okay. Yeah, I had to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anybody. We've been talking today. We've been talking today. I haven't been at my board though. Like, it's so junky around. I gotta get this together. Oh man. So we've been talking. I think, see, listen. This is why I'm saying, hold on. This is why I'm be saying folks be like not paying attention. Oh my goodness, the waves is going crazy. The waves is going crazy. But listen to what I'm saying. Folks be not paying attention. Yo, hold on. Y'all forgot this book existed. Y'all just hopped right over this book and went on about y'all lives. Y'all forgot this existed. Yo, did y'all forget this book existed? Seriously. I know y'all had to forget this book existed. Let me show y'all. I mean, the cover of the book alone says everything. Yo, the cover of the book by itself says everything. Get back to the antenna. Look. He said, get back to the antenna. I'm showing you. Listen, you've been missing the information all this time. Look. Literally. This book came out 10 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. Right? Look, on page 13, look at this. On page 13, let me read out loud. Radio. That I literally wrote that into the book. If you have this book, go pick this book up and see. I really wrote that into the book. And then it says radio waves. Energy is extracted from radio waves and converted to tiny oscillatory motions of the electrically charged components of the body. The more the motion, the higher the body temperature. Only certain types of radio waves are dangerous. Radio waves are actually very therapeutic and healing. It's the natural frequency you tap into during heightened thought, especially during gamma wave activity. In the gold book, too. Yo, listen. Now you got the big picture. When you go back, you're gonna go, oh, you're gonna look through all these books. You're gonna go, wait a minute. Doc been trying to explain this shit. Look. Now you know it's in the Bible. You know it's in here. It's all throughout this book. Listen, in this book here, we go. I told y'all this book here was written This is now that we got this out the way, we just got a major thing out of the way. We just got a major thing out of the way. Right? Because once we soak this concept in, and we get it, right? We start getting this prayer thing, right? We start getting this prayer, and this prayer thing is all wrapped deeply into God and the devil. These things is wrapped very tightly together. That's why no matter how, like when I jump into the rabbit hole of science, I got my armor on, right? Because there's one way to look at the word worship, right? Like worship, right? It's active. It's what you do all the time. It's what you do every day. But it's another thing to think of it as worship. You need that armor on at all times. Because once this starts to sink in, all kinds of other stuff is going to start to sinking in. Listen, all kinds of other stuff going to start to sinking in. Questions that you had that seem unrelated, you're going to start to, shit going to start clicking. You're like, wait, doc, so what are you saying about this? And what is this and this? Right? Because I know when everybody was talking about the shot, one of the main things that people couldn't figure out was like, yo, all of these different things, why do they have aluminum in these things? Like, what's aluminum doing in there? Listen, when aluminum accumulates in your brain, what's happening? When aluminum accumulates in your brain, what's happening? How come you how come you can no longer access your mind? Right? Because they looking at aluminum in the brain with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, you name it. What is that? What is that? Why is that a thing? Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's make sure we. What is that? Let's talk about that. I want to go back to the antenna. Let's talk about that. Because that's what we on. Respectfully, we're not off that. Okay. Listen, touch the rim. You see the sweater? Look at the. See the sweater, the backboard, the net. is made out of red blood cells, and then the backboard is the midbrain, and it says touch the rim till you get it. You get it. You might start getting it. You might start getting it now that we got this antenna thing out. No. Okay, let me help. Good. The questions is good. The questions is good. Okay. So they're not transforming us into living antennas. Right? We are already living antennas. Your spine already naturally is a FM antenna. Your spine is naturally a radio antenna. That's what you have to understand. We're all the time. We're transmitting and receiving signals all the time. Life could not have formed on this planet without being able to do that. Transmitting and receiving signals all the time. Cells cannot function together unless cells were transmitting and receiving signals. Come on, family. I know you just watching the videos. You ain't getting the books. You got to start getting the books, brother. You got to start getting the books. That's the whole premise that we built the whole foundation of melanin versus diabetes on, the language of melanin, right? So in your body, the pigments, not just melanin, the opsins and all that, all the whole gang together, what they're doing is translating electromagnetic waves and mechanical waves into digital signals, binary coding, right? That your cells then interpret into cytokines, myokines, chemokines on a larger scale, hormones, etc., right? But the base of all communication is digital. Right? The base of all communication is digital. Right? The base of all communication is digital. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go here. I think that's important. Let's go here. Right? The God gene hypothesis proposes that human spirituality is influenced by heredity, and that a specific gene called vesicular monoamine transporter 2 predisposes humans towards spiritual or mystical experiences. The idea has been proposed by geneticist Dean Hamer in the 2004 book called The God Gene: How Faith is Hardwired into Our Genes. The God gene hypothesis is based on a combination of behavioral, genetic, neurobiological, and psychological studies. Okay? Now, a lot of time and money has been spent on this. A lot of time and money has been spent on this, right? Now, The world went crazy with this, but black folks never heard of this. The world went crazy, but we didn't blink. The world went crazy with this, the discovery of this, but we didn't blink. Okay. Now, this is what I did. Let's go over here. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? Look at this here. Look at this laundry list. Look at this laundry list. Now, you know, autism was originally classified as schizophrenia, right? Right, look at this. You got the stars of the show. You got the stars of the show here. So now let's dial this back. Let's go back here. Right. So instead of looking here at the VMAT2 gene, let's go where science folks would be going, which is here. So there's two listings, right? There's this one and there's this one. Now we go over here. This is a whole nother conversation over here. Now we go over here. This is a whole nother conversation over here. Right? To date, no agent has been shown to directly interact with SLC18A2 in a way that promotes its activity. A VMAT2 positive allosteric modulator remains an elusive target in addiction and Parkinson's disease research. Interesting. Addiction. Addiction. Let's just run through this. SLC18A2 is believed to possess at least two distinct binding sites, which are characterized by tetrabenazine and reserpine, binding to the transporter. Amphetamine and methamphetamine bind at distant sites on SLC18A2 to inhibit its function. So this is what happens when you on meth and meth just so happens to target this area. It's not just meth though. The meth is just so happen to be like the strongest, right? So we can go. And we can go just like this. We can go just like this. We can go just like this. Right? So what we're sharing, right? I want to show you something before we keep going. What book is this? What book is this from? Right? What book is this from? Come on. What book is this from? What books is that from? The lymphatic immunity book, the EnQi and the brainwave book. Right? So we went through brain waves and even body waves, right? That's my term I coined, emotions, body waves. Right? Because we got neurons in our brain that make brain waves, and we still acting like we don't know what body waves are. Well, if neurons make brain waves, what are all of the nerves throughout the body? What are they doing? All of the neurons that you have in your heart. What waves, what are they doing? What about the neurons you got in your stomach? What are they doing? Right? That's what our emotions are. We're able to feel our brain waves from our body. Right? Body waves. You got neurons in your heart. They're making waves. You got neurons all throughout your body called nerves. You got a big one that goes from like your back. You got a big one that goes from your back to your foot. That's some crazy. That's damn near a guitar, ain't it? If neurons that's so small you can't even see them making brain waves, what about these big ones we got through our body? Come on now. Bro, I thought so. I thought so. Where is it? It's in my room. And it's on my bed. Listen, we done got ourselves into such a bag. Look at this and look at the cover. Lymphatic immunity. We dealing with the immune system because here's the thing. That shape, right? I've been saying this since before I even started writing books in the 90s, going into the 2000s, because I learned that from Tai Chi. Why prayer form, right? When you're outside, you pray that way. Barefoot, right? Connecting with the earth. You spread your arms up like this with your palms facing the sun. It's a very powerful prayer experience. I learned that in Tai Chi, right? But that is a natural transmitting and receiving, right? That's a natural. So I miss y'all, right? I miss y'all. Look at this. Look. In the center, what we're looking at right here in the center, right? In the center, this is what your immune system runs on. This is what your immune system runs on. So when they talk about immunoglobulins and antibodies, that's what this is right here. Right? It just so happens to be that a conductor naturally takes this posture. Right? It just so happens to be that this is on the bottom of the wa scepter. Right? And this is the aorta, and this is how your aorta set up. Literally, right here is your belly. And then it breaks down and go like this. Over your private parts, ladies, over your womb, your vagina would be right up into here. Fellas, your privates would be right up under here. And then it extends down into the legs, right? And then we all know what this guy is right here. You know, this is a tuning fork, right? We know this is a tuning fork. So we can extrapolate what this do, right? Now, this right here is the trickiest of all times. To me, this is the scariest and spookiest hieroglyph ever, ever, ever in all of Kemet. That is the most scariest and spookiest hieroglyph ever. That right there, when I first seen this, is when I knew that they knew. And I seen this way before there was any reports coming out about, way before there was any reports coming out about the pyramid concentrating radio waves, right? Because Nikola Tesla said he used to have dreams at night. And when he had dreams, he would dream that he's in Egypt being educated. And then he'll wake up with all these ideas and write them down. And that's how he came up with all his stuff. Well, that right there, that's a Tesla antenna. Tesla was trying to build a big jet pillar. And that's why they put the brakes on Tesla. So the free energy and all that, that was a big jet pillar of radio energy, radio waves. Everything now is running on radio waves, from the military to TV, Wi-Fi, radio, cable, whatever you think of is running on radio waves. Can you understand how the power structure would have collapsed? Like, not even collapsed. It would have never existed, because at the time when Tesla was doing this, none of this stuff existed. There was no Wi-Fi and internet. All that came post-Tesla discoveries. All that came with Tesla discoveries. Tesla was the one who discovered the radio first, not Marconi. Not Marconi. Y'all need to go back and do the math. Tesla sued Marconi. Let's see if we can find one. Cobra name. Telling you, they knew all the way back then. All the way back then, they knew. See that? This is what he was building. It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. He would have been the most powerful man on earth. What he was doing was not only a national threat to America, it was a national threat to the globe. He became a global threat to every government on earth. One man in control of. Okay. All right. I see what's going on, because we still don't get this. I could tell from the conversation, we still don't understand what's going on. So we need to go back to the Bible again. We got to go back to the Bible. We still got to go back to the Bible, because we don't get it. Okay. So now radio waves are used for technology. Okay. What is the Satanist job? What does the Satanist want to do? What is a Satanist core job? What does a Satanist want to do? A Satanist wants to do what? Turn everybody away from God towards who? Man. Man replaces God. Man replaces God. That's what a Satanist wants to do. Replace God with man. Right? You got to get this part. What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? Now that we went somewhere, right? Now that we went somewhere, what does the Bible say about the Ark of the Covenant? Come on. Come on. It's in there somewhere. What is the Ark of the Covenant for? Let's go to Google. Let's get us a Google going. Right? What is the Ark of the Covenant? What is the Ark of the Covenant? Okay. The Bible account relates that approximately blah, blah, blah. The ark was created with a pattern. Okay, now come on now. Come on now. I need y'all to really tap in with this one. What's the Ark of the Covenant for? What is the Ark of the Covenant for? God speaks through the Ark of the Covenant. Come on now. Come on. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. We're gonna get this part here. We're gonna get this part. We gotta get this. Now that we got it, right? Now that we got it. Now that we got horns in the Bible, right? We got horns in the Bible. Come on now. We got horns in the Bible. Right? We got horns in the Bible. Made out of what? Let's think about this logically. It's 3 different materials used throughout the Bible to make these horns. And these horns goes on the altar and the Ark of the Covenant. Right? It's 3 different materials. We're going to put gold because they did the Ark of the Covenant, the most important altar, right? Gold. Then what else we got? We got copper and we got silver. What do these 3 things have in common? What do these 3 things have in common? Okay. Okay. This is my bad, my weak artist rendition of an antenna, right? So how does an antenna work? Basically, right? This is the basics of how an antenna works, right? Electricity. Right? Electricity. Right? It's kind of like Morse code. Right? So the pattern the pattern of electricity, right? Because there's a few different ways you can encode information, right? The pattern of electricity is going to go here, and then here is where it's going to be converted and released out, transmitted out, right? As radio waves. Same thing is going to happen in reverse. It's going to come back to the antenna as light. It's going to come back to the antenna as light and be converted back into an electrical signal. Right? Conductors. There we go. There we go. Somebody up. Somebody up. Somebody up. These are out of all of the elements known to man, right? Out of all the elements known to man, number one, I think this is number two, and this is number three. This is the order of conductivity, right? These are literally the most electrically conductive materials. The most electrically conductive materials. Now, mind you, the periodic table, the periodic table is how many years old? The Bible is how many years old? See, this presents all kinds of problems. Listen, this is why I never, listen to what I'm saying, never, not for 1 second, budged. Even when I was all alone, I took all of these evolution theory guys to war. I'm like, yo, anything y'all got, like if I put the Bible behind this hand and then I put, if I put the Egyptian text between this hand, with these two books, I just take them two books. Give me the pyramid text and give me the biblical text. It don't matter what you got. You put whatever you got on that other side, I'm good. It's nothing you got that can stop what I got over here. Because all this time, I'm saying like, yo, y'all don't even know what's in this book. What's in this book is so advanced. Y'all are looking around in the world and y'all are looking at all of the worldly stuff and y'all have no idea that the worldly stuff has been created by Satanists studying this book and just reading the Bible over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And they walking through the pyramids and they reading the papyri and they and then once they get the information, they get rid of it. They get rid of it. The problem though, see, this is why in some ways the Bible is better than what we have in Kemet. And I know for some people that's like blasphemy. The thing with Kemet is
Kemet is a secretive place. And a lot of stuff in Kemet has been stolen, hidden, and all this and all that. The Bible is out on Front Street. It is too late. They cannot, listen, why do you think they come out with 15 different versions like every year? Every year they got at least 15, 20 new versions of the Bible. Because it's too much stuff in there. But the problem with that is, even when they keep coming out with new versions of the Bible, guess what? People are buying real books. This is why y'all have to buy real books. You have to buy real books because they cannot change the real books. So it's people working around here with old Bibles. It's all kind of Bibles floating around out here. It's all kind of Bibles floating around out here. And you start to going and reading these books and you go, wait a minute. Who told me that the goat was the devil? And who came up with that? Who came up with that program? You telling me the person who wait a minute, they done turned this into horny as sex now. So the same folks that done. So you telling me Jack Parsons and his company, they done mastered this whole antennas thing, antennas everywhere. And then what did they tell us? Oh, horny is sex. Yeah, that's you get drugged up and then you get horny. You get drugged up, take the drugs, get the drugs in your body, you get horny on drugs. You get horny on drugs. Wait, what? The Bible don't say that. The Bible says that the Ark of the Covenant is horny. The Ark of the Covenant is horny, and you get horny and you talk to God. It don't say nothing about sex. There's no drugs, none of that. It's prophecy. It's power. Healing is in you. This is the. I'm gonna connect to the source with this. I'm gonna connect to the source of life with this. Listen, I need y'all to get this. Because you need to know why you need to be praying. You need to know why you need to be praying. You need to know why we keep talking about the Schumann resonance. We getting there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there at some point. It's gonna start clicking into your brain. And you're gonna realize what the whole natural foods is about. It's all gonna click, but none of this is separate. You got to be loaded up with these poisonous foods to block something. Come on now. All right, how about we do this? Look. How about we do this? How about we do this? Here's what we do. Here's what we do. Forget all this God stuff. Forget the church stuff. Forget the science stuff. Forget all that. Forget the devil stuff. Get all that out of your mind. And I know this is like some of y'all allergic to this stuff and it's hurting y'all soul. That's why people don't like. Some of y'all is like, give me more. EnQi, I need this information. This is what I've been looking for. And some people they running. They body is like, they like breaking down. Oh my God. Yeah, because they got devil, they got demons it's all this. So let's take all that off the table for a second. Let's just have a regular conversation, right? Maybe I'll get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. We'll need to see this, right? Let's get rid of all this for a second. Let's get rid of all this for a second, right? Watch this. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about money. Let's have a money conversation real quick. All right? I know some of y'all know much more about money than I do because I don't have none. I need some. So let's talk about money real quick.
Real estate. Let's deal with real estate. Watch this now. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this one. Watch this. Real estate, right? Real estate is a good business to go into. Why is real estate a good business to go into? This is the participation part. Come on. Why is real estate a good business to go into? Don't think too deep. Just be on the regular surface level with it. Remember, we put all the religion and the science away. We talking money now. Just regular. We regular in the barbershop, the hair salon. We on the block with it. We just regular on the block with it. We talking regular talk now. Why is real estate a good business to go into? Come on. Don't be scared. Y'all was talking a second ago. Don't be scared now. Why is real estate a good business to go into? You can leverage it across the board. Residual income. Business produce funds. Nope. I mean, those things are correct, but that's not why real estate is a good business to go into. So since those are good answers, hard assets, these are all correct, but none of these is the right answer. I'm explaining to you, right? Space is limited, right? So the regular basic laws of supply and demand. See, y'all skipping books and y'all missing science, boy. Oh my God, y'all are missing. Y'all gotta stop. Listen, look, y'all are missing stuff. Y'all are missing stuff. Y'all gotta trust me. Y'all gotta trust me. Y'all missing stuff. Y'all deciding like, oh, this book ain't important. Let me get this book and that. Y'all missing stuff. And this is one of the books you're supposed to be. This is the teenage book. So we got the books for the babies, right? These are for our younger children. And this is a whole series. This is a thick series, right? I made the words real big. So they're not hard to read. The words just real big in these books. But this is the adolescent ones, right? So this is more like for the, well, we just needed another level because we went through all of these, right? But then this is the next level, right? Basic supply and demand. The more of a supply, the less the value. The less of a supply, the higher the value, right? So every year, now the earth doesn't grow. The earth doesn't grow. The earth the same size. But every year, your Satanists hate this. Every year there's more people. Right? And the more we learn better, the longer we staying alive. So this is getting worse. Right? So because space is limited and there's more people, the more people there is, the higher the value of the real estate goes up. Now, of course, you got, the banks artificially messing with the money with interest rates and stuff like that. But just the actual property value, supply and demand. The more people, less land. Less land, higher the price goes up, right? This is the basics of anything.
If people need it and there's not that much of it, the value goes up really high. Right? And the less of it is, the higher the value goes up. Okay? Now, here's a question, right? I just picked this randomly because this is a good one. Everybody's interested and talks about this. People know about this. So I picked this for that reason, right? But this goes with anything that people need, right? If the food supply gets shorter, the prices goes up, right? If water starts running out, the price of water goes up. Like anything, supply and demand, the basics of economics, right? The larger the supply, the lower the cost, right? And that's based on the seesaw of supply and demand. If 100 people want something and there's 1,000 things available, it's going to be cheap. But if 100 people want something and there's only one of them, oh, it's a bidding war. The price is getting ready to go through the roof, right? Everything is supply and demand. That's the basics of economics. Now, let's change this, right? Let's change this up. Jaylen Brown was the first one, right? Jaylen Brown was the first one, right? Who got the new NBA contracts, right? The level that NBA players in all sports, right? All the sports, as the leagues renegotiate their contracts with the corporations, they're going to be getting paid more money, right? And so the players will be getting paid more money. Football, baseball, basketball, soccer, you name it, doesn't matter, right? But I'm an NBA guy, so NBA is kind of what I pay attention to, right? And in that universe, Jaylen Brown, first one to get that big bag, some old crazy thing, right? They was just talking about soon there'll be more players getting $1 billion. Like billionaires in the NBA will be more common, right? So here's what I'm asking, because we know, hopefully we know the basic of economics. Supply and demand controls the cost, right? Supply and demand controls the cost. Now, here's a thing that's going on with the athletes, right? Because of YouTube, right? Specifically because of YouTube. All right, let me rewind it back. Before YouTube, before really social media went crazy, but mostly before YouTube, because YouTube is the main social media platform, right? In order for you to really get the skills that you needed, and this is why there's a lot of children that's in the NBA from their father. Like a lot of people made a big deal about Bronny, and it's crazy because they're like, oh yeah, Bronny got on that team because his dad. Did y'all forget that Scottie Pippen Jr.'s son was on the same Lakers team? Did y'all forget that Max Christie is Doug Christie's son? Like, did y'all forget that the NBA is full of the older NBA kids? Like, that's because in order for you to get the skills that you need, you have to get the skills that you need from other NBA players. So if you're born into a family where one of your parents played professional basketball or even other sports, They in that world. So you could just, they'll just send you to whoever's house and you could just train with whoever and you'll get those skills because your dad or your mom, that's their friends, right? Now, from the hood, from the woods to the hoods, right? From the woods to the hoods, right? From the sticks to the bricks, right? The only way for you to get there was you had to be real good wherever you was at. If you was out in the woods somewhere or you was in the hood somewhere, you had to be good, right? And then you could get a scholarship, right, to a summer camp. And you go to the camps, and when you go to the camps, that's when you get to learn the actual real skills you needed for college and NBA from the real players, right? Unless you was lucky, like we was kind of lucky in the South Bronx, right? We got the same teaching that Kyrie Irving got, right? Kyrie Irving, he credits his father with everything. He loved his dad and all that. But Rod Strickland. Rod Strickland. Now, my adopted grandmother lived in Patterson Projects, right? I went to school at Clark Junior High School. That's across the street from Patterson Projects, across the street from My Haven Projects, 3 blocks over from Mitchell Projects. Every summer, Rod Strickland was there in the hood, or somebody that he taught was there in the hood doing Rod Strickland tournaments and Rod Strickland training camps, right? So what I'm saying is people was able to get those skills. Now, fast forward to today, on the internet, you got professional NBA trainers and coaches that got whole programs online. So you don't have to go nowhere. Right? You don't have to go nowhere.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now.
So you don't got to go nowhere. You could get them training skills at the house, right? Look at what happened this year with the Olympics, right? All of the other countries is getting better. All of the kids everywhere is getting better. All of the kids everywhere now have access to that professional level training, right? So now, let's go back to supply and demand and economics. I'm going to show you something. I'm showing you something. Scratch a lie, find a thief. I'm showing you something that you need to understand to break open this prison that we in. Right? I'm trying to free you. Just follow me for a second. I'm on my Harriet Tubman right now. I'm trying to free you. If the NBA players, right, are getting paid twice as much money, right? The law of supply and demand says that they have something, right, that there is now less of. And because there's less of it, less supply, the cost has went up. And because the cost has went up, they get paid more money. They get paid a larger percentage because there's a lot more money being made. Now, when you actually examine the world, that's not true. There's 1,000% more highly skilled players in the States. There's 1,000,000,000% more highly skilled players around the world in other countries. So, what is the thing? What is the thing that NBA players have that's increasing in value, that's allowing them to get paid more money? Come on now.
I'm dead. He said testosterone.
No, sir.
Yo, he said testosterone. I'm dead.
Genetics? Nope. No. That's why I said, listen, I'm trying to free y'all. I'm trying to free y'all. Okay. How does the NBA get money? Where does the NBA's money come from? What's the bulk of their money come from? What is the bulk of the NBA money? Where does that come from? Nope, not diet, not real estate, definitely not skills. The hedgehog gene? I'm dead. No. Hype? No. Where does the NBA get their money from is what I'm asking you. Aren't they renegotiating right now? And Amazon is trying to do the deal with them to bring the NBA over to Amazon Prime? Come on, this is directly relates to prayer. This directly relates to the antennas, the spine, the whole program. Listen, you missing the wood for the trees. I got y'all. Why do you think we're going live? And the books is out. The books. Go get the books. Go get the books. Okay. Watch. Right? The NBA NBA, like all other athletic leagues, they sell airtime. We should be able to just stop right there. They sell airtime. Okay. Tesla put up the antenna, right? Tesla put up the antenna. The antenna is doing what? Transmitting and broadcasting what? Airtime. All right. This is on video, plus the books is out, so you'll be able to watch the video, go back, get it. It's going to start clicking. This going to all start clicking. All right, so airtime, right? What makes the airtime valuable? Where's the value coming in, right? Okay, maybe we're doing the wrong sport. It's just I know this the best. But maybe if we do this, it might make better sense. Let me do this. Because Kendrick just dropped his album. He dissed Lil Wayne. So everybody talking about this now. Super Bowl. Bang. The Super Bowl is known to have the most expensive what? I want to hear y'all from y'all houses, damn it. I want y'all to say it that loud that I can hear it here through the camera in my house. I want y'all. The Super Bowl has the most expensive airtime. The Super Bowl is the event that has the single most expensive airtime in all of TV. Airtime. Okay, now. The value of airtime comes because you do what? Where does the value come from? You spend time.
Keep telling y'all, we not really studying this equation enough. Time equals money. You spend time doing what? You spend time doing what? Paying attention. You spend time paying attention. Because you're going to spend time paying attention to the Super Bowl. Right? Because the Super Bowl is the event that has the most people spending time paying attention. They have the most expensive airtime. So athletes are getting paid more money. Why? What is the thing? What is the commodity? Right? Supply and demand. Listen, these is rules of nature. They can't break. Anytime it looks like something's off, it's because you missing out on something. You confused. Don't ever think that the laws of nature broke. Your brain did. Your mind did. Something is a sleight of hand. Something you got tricked, right? Malcolm said it the best. Hoodwink, bamboozle, right? Listen, you missed something. So you're going to spend time paying attention. So what is the commodity that's going up in value? We need a fresh marker. We need a fresh marker. Y'all watching. I know y'all watching. I know y'all listening. Y'all missing too many books. That's the problem. Y'all got 2, 3 books, 5 or 6 books, and y'all don't realize we over 60 books. So if you got anything less than 30 books, you in trouble. You behind. We over 60 books. We almost 70 books on Amazon right now. And that don't count none of the books that I wrote before. We was putting them on Amazon. Listen, if you got less than 30 of the books, you got less than half the information. Remember, you don't see and hear with your eyes and ears. You see and hear with your mind. If you got less than half the books, you're going to understand less than half what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Your mind. Your mind is the commodity that is increasing in value. The NBA players have that. That is the thing that is harvested. Your mind is harvested and packaged like plants, like carrots, like kale, right? A farmer is going to go pick the kale. They're going to put it in a bag and then he's going to sell it, right? All right, look, let me ask y'all another question. If you go on Hassan Campbell channel, right? Let's talk about, I'm just trying to reach y'all as many ways as possible, right? If you go to Hassan Campbell's channel, what is Hassan known for? Hassan is known for 2 things. Outside of the Bambaataa and all that other stuff, right? Hassan is known for 2 things. Hassan is gonna do what? Hold on, let me get something so I can do this right. Let me do this right. Let me do this the right way. Right? Yeah. What is Hassan Campbell gonna do? Every video, right? Every video you see Hassan Campbell, he got some type of weapon up, right? He got like a axe, a sword, or something crazy, some type of knife or something, right? Okay. So that's the one thing that's consistent. What is the other thing that's consistent on Hassan's channel?
Liquor. Liquor. Hassan Campbell is selling you liquor. Y'all missing it. The black YouTube space. You don't get popular on the black YouTube space unless you got liquor. Go look at all of the black YouTube channels that you like to watch. Notice that they're going to be drinking liquor the whole time. What Tasha K show is named Unwind with Tasha K. The whole time she's drinking wine. Why? What is Puff Daddy in court for right now? Hello, Puff Daddy's in court for liquor right now. Drink Champs, liquor. $1 million worth of game. When you watch the show, you don't see it. But every show, about 5 or 10 minutes in, and such vodka. Make sure you get your vodka today. Like, go to Matt Hoffa channel. Matt Hoffa got liquors all through the joint with the Hennessy bottle. He keep flashing. Yo, get that hint. You didn't pay. You didn't notice. You didn't pay attention. You didn't pay attention. I told you, it's only one thing that has a value on earth. That's your soul. That's why I said, y'all not listening to the song. I got to play the song again for y'all. The image is the soul, and the likeness is your swag. And there's no, I trade that for a bag. Your soul is electromagnetic fields. Your voice is the specific frequency it yields, encoding your thoughts, encoding your emotions. When those waves collapse, the culture's the commotion. Your mind is the thing that's being harvested. They harvest your mind and package it. And they sell that to corporations. That's what's happening. So now, I know that they're like, oh my God, EnQi, that was too much. That mind blown. Okay, this, if your mind was blown, just get hit the cash app. But we don't stop there, right? Because now you need to get over that. Like, oh my God, that was crazy. All right, get over it. Let's go back over here. Why is the value increasing? Why is the value increasing? Think about all these terms. You didn't understand this? I tried to break this down as simple as possible. What is over here, right? What I've been saying for the last 2-3 years. What should we be doing? Spending our time, paying attention. What? Doing what? Balancing our interests. Hello? Spending your time, paying attention, balancing your interests. What's your interest? Self, family, God. That's that. Why is this going up in value? What is happening over here? The clock. There's a clock. Everything that's going on, a lot of y'all been following me for a long time. You go, yo, EnQi predicted all this way before Cat Williams. Like, this is, if you listen to the music, 4, 5, 10 years out, I predicted all this. Bop, 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 in details, all coming, boo, boo, everything. Happening, one thing after another, after another, after another. How's that possible? Because there's a schedule for all this stuff that's supposed to happen. You're just not a part of it. You're not studying. Once you start studying and you start seeing the numbers, and you go, oh, wait, that's that. Oh, man, oh. You start seeing the sign of the times. The sign of the times. How do we know what time it is? Numbers. That's why I was explaining to you, right? A number is not a real thing. A number's in your mind. Numbers only exist in your mind, just like light, sound, time, and space. They only exist in your mind. Listen. There's only a certain amount of time before you figure this out. This is happening. This is happening. This is a phenomenon. This is happening right here. So in order to stop you from figuring this thing out, they need you to be spending your time paying attention over here. You need to be over there, right? You ain't got no time to read these books EnQi putting out. Yeah, did you see what happened to Diddy? Wait a minute, Kendrick just dropped another album. Wait a minute, Kendrick dropped another album. Hold up, what happened to Diddy? Did Denzel and Bill Cosby go to Diddy house? Every day, right? Every day, the more we talk, the more of these books y'all get, the more of this information y'all share to people and redirect them back to the right direction, right? Because they get confused. They'd be like, well, EnQi is teaching some health stuff and Brother Yaki is teaching. Brother Yaki is teaching that you got a chakra in your anus. Brother Yaki is a Dr. York student. How many more Dr. York students do we need? And not Dr. York students like people who study Dr. York. People who are actively supporting Dr. York now. Like, how many more of those people do we need to follow down the same program? Billy Carson, he running around with Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard is a cross-dressing Kamala supporter, respectfully. They all with the program. Every day, the more this information gets out, right? There's a reason why they all follow me. They don't have a choice. They don't have the plug. I got the plug. So I'm going to drop some information nobody never heard before, and then I'm going to turn right back around, and then I'm going to do it again. I keep telling y'all, it don't come from me, it come through me. Every day, the more wiser the people get, it's a butterfly effect, right? The little tiny butterfly flaps its wings in Africa, it causes a tornado in America. The little tiny butterfly flaps its wings. Yeah. The more sharper people get. Because my emissaries going wherever they're going. Whether they want to credit me or not, we know who they is. So KT could be next to Jaylen Brown and do, he could do whatever, everybody know that's my son. Okay, go ahead. Go teach him what I taught you. And now he gonna be out there teaching people what you taught him. The butterfly is fat. The butterfly flapping his wings. So what happens? The more you learn what real value is, the more you move away from the fake stuff, the more you gravitate to the real stuff, right? Time is ticking. The idle mind is the devil's playground. Well, the more you start to put the right stuff in your mind, the less idle your mind is going to be. There's less space for the devil to get in. And that's the whole thing with the radar, with the antennas. They're not shooting them things out into space. There's no outer space. It's inner space. Them things is directed at you. I keep telling you. Time, space, light, sound, music, numbers, all that is in here. In order for you to see it out there, I keep telling you, you don't see with your eyes, you don't hear with your ears, you see and you hear with your mind. In order for you to see something and hear something, someone has to put it in your mind. The more we build this, the more you get closer to this, the less space there's going to be. Notice, in the 90s, right? Let's go back to the 80s, the crack epidemic. Wait, forget the crack epidemic. Let's go back before that. Let's go to my dad and them generation, right? Ron O'Neal, Superfly, right? All of the heroin dealers and dope dealers. How did they look? Think about the Mac. Remember that movie, The Mac? How did they look? All of them dudes look what? 30 and 40 years old. The guys controlling the street was 30 and 40 years old. Right? Because we were dumber. Further we go back, the closer we get back to 1865, the dumber we are. Every time you move away from 1865, it's more is coming back to us. More is coming back to us. More is coming back to us. More memory is coming back. We're remembering. The further we get away from the mass brainwashing that happened. There's a mass brainwashing that happened from Jamestown all throughout 1865. From Jamestown to 1865 is a mass brainwashing event. Like when Will Smith put the little flashy thing up to the screen, and then you lost your memory. Jamestown to 1865, we lost our memory. Globally. One big satanic, masterful ritual. I mean, I'm talking about they pulled out the flawless victory. That was literally a hell of a ritual. A hell of a ritual. We still arguing about what happened in that time period right now. We're native. No, we're not native. We Israelite. No, we Kemetic. No, we Christian. We still don't know what happened. 300-400 years. Poof. Just went up in smoke. We have no idea what happened. That was a masterful ritual right there. Satan won. God team 0. That was amazing right there. Flawless. And then as we start to coming out of it, we start to looking around, we start recognizing some stuff like, wait a minute, hey, what's that thing on that wall right there? Hey, it looked like you right there. What? They look like me right there? So we might have built this thing? Man, how we figured out how to build this thing? Where we learn how to build this thing? Wait, look at that right there. That looked like instruction. Hold up, is that instruction how to build this thing? Every day we get away from 1860, we start to remember them. Right? Listen, the first thing you got to learn how to do in order to win is when you take an L, you got to acknowledge the L. You got to acknowledge that you got whooped. That's what athletes do. The best athletes are the guys that watch the most video. When they take a massive L, they got to go review that video and go, man, that was amazing. Look how he whooped me. Yeah, look at that. And I was supposed to weave this way, and I ran right into the hook. Oh, I ran right into the hook. That was crazy, right? If we don't watch the video the right way, because we traumatic, we don't want to watch the video. We don't want to see what really happened, right? We're still going to be, we got to wake up, right? So every day as we wake up, think about it. If we go back to the 60s, the 70s, the drug dealers and the pimps on the street was 30, 40, 50 years old. What happened to the crack epidemic now. When the crack epidemic comes, 20s. Right? You seen Wesley Snipes, New Jack City, they in their 20s now. Guys in their 20s with $1 million, 20s, right? We go through that era, and what happens? We come out of it even smarter again. We come out of it even smarter again. We go into the stupor, but then we come out of it way smarter. The kids, the crack babies, the kids, we come out of it way smarter. And what happened? What was the number one thing that folks was complaining about? Right? The media. The media. Now, who's the media? The folks with the antennas, right? The media was complaining about what was happening. Teenage babies. So they thought they was killing us off. And what did God made us do? God just made us start having babies as kids. Listen, God just made us start having teenage babies. Okay, if you kill us off faster, we reproduce faster. That's just kind of how it goes. You kill us off faster, we reproduce faster. It's okay. We figure it out. So what happens the next generation? Right? Fast forward to now. We went from drug dealers to drug users, and now the killers in the neighborhood is what? The killers are now 13 and 14 years old. Because they got to get you younger and younger. The more time you have to think, the more time you have to build your mind, the more out of reach you are. Because everything has to happen here, in between your two ears. Everything has to happen here. So the value of this is going up. Yeah, the value of this is going up. Because now we got the opportunity to choose. We didn't have the opportunity to choose before. That was a fake. It was a multiple choice. It was like you watching channel 2, channel 4, channel 7. What was it? 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. We had the choice of 6 channels. That's it. 6 TV channels. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. That was it. And so you had a couple of hours a day where they put on black shows on what? Channel 9 and channel 11. And those was where, we was basically goofballing, right? That's why Live in Color was so good and successful because, we got to see black men dressed up in women's clothes and, basically being clowns. Amazing show. Through the roof. Right? So now what's going on? Now we got unlimited channels. We got unlimited channels. So now, instead of sitting down smoking a blunt and watching in Live in Color, now you can sit down and you can watch a congressional Senate House meeting. Like you could be in the Senate House meeting right at your house on YouTube. And they live streaming. You watching the live Congress. You're like, wait a minute. This is what this look like all this time? This is crazy. I'm tuned in. You can watch Nature Channel. You can see the other countries. You don't got to travel. You ain't got to save up your money to travel to Egypt. Egypt is on the internet. It's online. We can blink it in right now. Boop, boop, boop. We can see the pyramids. Inside the pyramids, everything. The whole program. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's look at what's happening below the ocean. We can see everything. Right? The observer effect. Hello? See, y'all got to go get these books. Listen. We can observe more. I need y'all to think about this observer effect. And I need y'all to absorb the observer effect. When you observe something, you become entangled with that which you observe, and now you influence the outcome of the thing that you're watching. Why do you think that juries cannot communicate with anybody watching? Listen, the observer effect, right? So the more we can see, the more we can affect. The value of this is what's increasing. becoming harder and harder for the entertainment folks to harvest your mind. Okay, let's go in a whole nother direction. When they start talking about fluoride, right? They say fluoride is no good because they use the fluoride in the concentration camps for what? What did they say they used fluoride for? They didn't use fluoride to kill anybody. That's not what fluoride was for. They wasn't using fluoride to kill people off. They wasn't using fluoride for depopulation. They were using fluoride for what? They said allegedly, they was using fluoride to make the prisoners more docile. To make them more docile. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. I need y'all up. Right? Your mind. Think about who's popping. How did guys get famous in the rap business? We already went through rap means criminal indictment. So what are the biggest rappers sold you? What did they sell you? Dre was the smoothest, right? Dre and Snoop, they sold you on the idea of getting high smoking weed. Redman sold you on the idea of getting high smoking weed. Method Man and the Wu-Tang sold you on getting high smoking dust. Jay-Z sold you on the idea of selling other things to other people to get them high. The platforms are selling you the idea of the liquor. They need you drunk. They need you high. They need you stupid. They need you. What they don't need you is strong. They don't need you sober and focused. That is the thing that they don't want. Sober and well studied. That's the problem. They do not want you sober and well studied. Wakey, wakey. They don't want you reading. What's the purpose of an algorithm on YouTube? The purpose of the algorithm on YouTube is to control what is available for people to select. The realer the information, the more you got to go find that. Even if you subscribe to certain channels, you still don't even know they live. You don't know nothing. You got to go check that channel. Period. There ain't no notifications coming. You forget about it. You got to go check that channel. Why? How does that happen? When you subscribe to a channel, you don't get a notification. But there's channels that you're not subscribed to that pop up on your home screen. How does that happen? I'm not subscribed to these. What are these doing popping up on my home screen? They explain it away. They tell you, oh, well, based on what you like, we put this here. Hold on. If based on what I like, you putting stuff on my home screen, then why you not putting the stuff I subscribe to on my home screen? Let me ask you that again. When they say, based on what you're watching, we put stuff, we made suggestions for you. Because we want you to be able to, based on what you like, we putting stuff suggestions. Well, what I like is what I subscribe to for sure. So how come you're not putting what I subscribe to on my home screen? See that cut the whole foolishness out. What's going on your home screen ain't got nothing to do with what you like. Finding the least threatening, most entertaining of what you'll sit through. So if you watch 10 different types of shows, we're going to find the least empowering of those and flood your timeline with that. as this gets stronger, right? As this gets stronger, the supply goes down. The supply of minds to harvest for foolishness goes down. It goes down. That's all that's happening to the rap music. It's like, oh, the sales is dropping. All of the artists, the sales is going down. How long you thought we was going, like how long you thought we was going to spend time on that? The upgrades is hitting. The upgrades is coming. We want something else now. That ain't feeding us. Our soul's still craving. Our soul's still craving. We that ain't it. All right, cool. We put it in. I want to hear a little Draco. Yeah, I got the Draco and the Kilo, and I banged your woman. I did all, okay, cool. I listened to a few of those. I gotta take that out. My kids running around. I gotta focus my mind. I need a little bit of Jesus on. I need a little old school with some love music play. I gotta take this out. I can't listen to this. And because I don't have, because it doesn't fit in my life, I can't study listening to that. I can't study listening to that. What is that? You got to go off. See, the stronger your mind gets, right? Okay. God is constantly emitting a signal. God is emitting a signal. God is emitting a signal. And the noise has to quiet down in order to hear the signal. So as long as there's a lot of noise around you, you constantly strolling on the timeline, you seeing who liked the thing and who did that. Oh man, what Drake? Oh, Kendrick dropped a surprise album. And he said, na 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 to Lil Wayne, I got the Super Bowl. Wayne and Kendrick Lamar have not cured one person's cancer. Last I checked, they haven't reversed one cancer out here. Wayne and Kendrick, they have not removed one fibroid. There's not one woman that was infertile, unable to have babies, that listened to the Lil Wayne album, and now she can have babies. Guess what? They can't say that about me. They can't say there's not one woman out there that listened to Dr. EnQi and she couldn't have babies, and then now she can have babies. Because it'd be a whole lot of ladies popping up. They'd be like, oh, well, wait a minute. Wait now. Just hold on now. We got 3 babies. We got 2 babies. No, I got me a daughter. No, I got me a son. And that's the ones that I directly, that ain't even counting my students, what my students did. And that's not counting what the students of my students are doing. That is a frequency. That's a God frequency. That's not coming from me. That's coming to me. I'm re-radiating. I'm tuning in. Do, 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 do. Like a truck backing up. I'm tuned in. Do, 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 do. And as I'm tuning in, I'm like, oh, what you said? What you said? Hold on, slow down. Look where? Look over there. Oh, that's crazy. Let me go. Hey, hurry up, I'm going to live stream. Get the books. Hurry up and get the books. Now, y'all at home with the books. What's happening when y'all get the books? Y'all brain is going like this. Doo, 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 doo. Because see, when you start reading books, you got to turn some stuff off. You got to turn stuff off. I'm not listening to that. I'm getting ready to ride in the car and listen to EnQi. No, I'm a truck driver. I got to go across state, deliver this stuff. I'm not listening to, yo, I banged your woman and then you pulled up on me. I spun the block. I'm not what? And the time that I spent 3 hours listening to that, you know what I could have listened to? EnQi, I'm about to learn about this autism. Yeah, we getting ready to start this off. No, we fighting heart disease. We done figured out the brain chemistry. We over here with the Do, 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 do. This is why I asked y'all the question, right? I said, listen, we know that technology gets better over time, right? We know that technology gets better over time. So if we went to the moon in 1969, what has all these space agencies been doing since then? If we went to the moon in 1969, right now we should be like, the moon should be the crib. The moon should be the crib. Like we should just be the question. Y'all ask the wrong questions. Oh, I believe we faked it. We faked it. Flat Earth. Listen, flat Earth is another distraction. Who? We faked the moon landing. Oh, okay, but forget about whether we faked the moon landing or not. Y'all been spending billions of dollars a year on what? We faked the moon landing. Got it. If we fake the moon landing, that means that no money and time has been spent on going to the moon. So what is the money and time being spent on? Where are you guys traveling? It's a space agency. What space are you guys traveling in? Do, 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 do. Come on. Wakey, wakey. Time and space, light, sound, all that stuff only exists in here. So what are the big antennas for? You think they spending billions of dollars on them antennas to shoot signals at what? Stars? That they don't even know how far them joints is away. That's what you think is going on. Do, 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 do. Wakey, wakey. No. They shooting that around the atmosphere. So that could go into your brain. Right? So they can create reality. Okay, let's go back to the Bible for a second. Now I think it's clicking in. Now y'all gonna watch. Now after this video, you got to go back and watch the other 2 videos we did today from scratch. Even if you saw them, go back and watch them again. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm ordering all these books right now. This is great. You're gonna get it. It's gonna click all in. Right? It's going to all click in. You go, wait a minute. Hold on. When did the Roswell thing happen? Hold on. Jack Parsons did the deal with the spaceships and all that. When did Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons do the deal with the space companies? And when did they come up with this alien? What happened? Do. Oh, nigga. Oh my God. And I'm telling you, that word is like a magical word. That word is like nigga and Jesus. Them 2 words there. Demons don't like them words. So it's no coincidence that in the Bible, Jesus is called a nigga. I said, I can't make this stuff up. Right? The broadcast media, they want you to stop using that word now. Why they want you to stop using that word all over in the Bible? Jesus said you're supposed to be wise as serpents. Serpents is an English word. In the original term, it'd have been wise as niggas. That's what the serpents was back then. That's what they was called, the niggas. So them wise as niggas. And Jesus and his dad is them niggas. Okay, let's back. The same. What is this? What is this? The word, right? This is this says word. Right? Word. Right? Word. So the Bible talks about the word doing what? The word became flesh. Now, if you ask one of them goofy PhD guys, they're gonna flashy thing your memory and take you before long, you're gonna not even know what you already know. So now the word, what is a word? How does an antenna work? How does an antenna work? An antenna does what? It turns electric signals into light. Turns electric signals into light. The beautiful thing about your voice is a combination of mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves at the same time. At the same time. Electromagnetic and mechanic at the same time. Yeah. Your voice is special. Light and sound. That's the word. Light and sound became flesh. You know what? Let's do this another way. Let me do this like this. Let's do this another way. Okay. Let's do this another way. Watch this. Let's go on over here. What we got going on over here? Okay. See, God spoke. God spoke. Okay, but let's do something like this. Okay. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever spent any time thinking about this? Look. Let me see if we can find a good one. Perfect. Where is this at? Hold up. Come on. Look. Have y'all ever spent any time thinking about this? And so here's the visible light, right? Right in here, right? Here's UV, is infrared. Radio is the main, all this right here is radio. All this is radio. Look how big the radio space is. All this is radio waves. Right? All this is radio. That's why I said microwave is not a real thing. Microwave is like right in here. Microwave is the top of radio, but the bottom right, like microwave is right between long infrared waves and the shortest radio waves. Right? Because infrared, your body turns into heat. So microwave is right there. Right? Microwave is right there. Wait, hold. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all do know. Oh my God. Let me show y'all something. Y'all know this? Do y'all know this?
Do y'all know where this is located? Where is this? Where is this located? Microwave Valley. Where is Microwave Valley located? Where is that at? It's a place. Where is this? Microwave Valley. Where is this? Where is that located? Anybody know where this is? Correct. Correct. Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. Listen, Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. I'm trying to think. Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. Okay. Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. How does Microwave Valley turn into Silicon Valley? Okay. Microwave Valley is what? What are they doing in Microwave Valley? I just told you microwaves is radio waves. So what was they doing over there? Microwaves is radio waves. So what was they doing over there? What was they spending billions of dollars studying? Figuring out what? Radio waves. After they figure out the radio waves, then it becomes Silicon Valley, right? What happens? So they go from figuring out how to do what? Put antennas everywhere. And then what? They figured out now we could put the devices on it. Now we put the devices on it. Let's get the devices that work on this microwave network that we build around the planet. Right now we can put stuff on it. Now, how do we keep them on it? Right? Once we create these devices that goes on this network, right? Computers, phone. Once we create these devices, how do we keep them on these devices? Well, we got to keep upgrading the devices, right? Entertainment. Right? We got to keep you on these devices because we got to keep you on the microwave. We got to keep you on our antenna. We got to keep you on the radar. They watching. They observing. They entangling with you, influencing your outcomes. What? Wait, isn't that what God's supposed to do? Isn't that what God's supposed to do? God's supposed to be watching and influencing outcomes? Okay, let's go back again. Let's go back again. Now, if we look at this thing here, this is the electromagnetic spectrum, right? Okay, these are the longest waves. The longest waves, the same way you got supply and demand, right? As supply goes down, demand goes up. As demand goes up, price goes up, right? The same way that goes, you have the same thing with speed and wavelength, right? The longer the wavelength, the slower the speed, right? So when you get all the way to the other side, the more to the right you go, well, I guess on your thing it'll be that way, right? But to your right, I don't know why, just I guess it's the camera. But if we start, we just do it like this, start and end. Over here, these are the long waves. So these are the slow ones. Over here, see how my little mouse thing is going? As we go this way, the waves get smaller and faster, smaller and faster.
Smaller and faster. Smaller and faster. Smaller and faster. Okay. Now, so if you look at that and you take a second to contemplate that, you go, okay. So technically, the radio waves are generating all these other waves, right? So this what makes radio the most important. This is the reason why it's called what, everybody? Radiation, right? It's not called gamma-ation, right? All of this light is not called gamma-ation. It's not called X-rayation. It's not called ultraation or visation or infraration. It's called radiation, right? This is the star of the show right here. The star of the show, hardworking, Mr. Dynamite, soul clap, right? It's right here. Radiation. This is the one generating everything, right? Everything. So here's the question. If radio waves is generating the rest of these waves, right? What is generating the radio waves? What are the waves that are smaller than radio waves? Let's just do it in increments. That might be way too much. What are the waves that are smaller than radio waves? Or rather, longer. Pause. What are the waves that are longer than radio waves, but smaller in terms of hertz, right? Smaller in terms of hertz, right? So what comes before the radio waves? Right? So you got radio waves and then everything else comes after radio waves. What comes before the radio waves? Come on now. I just showed you. Microwave Valley became Silicon Valley, right? Watch this. Microwave Valley became Silicon Valley, right? You're like, EnQi, we worried about your safety. You just teaching you teaching too hard right now. I told you my little brother just died from opioids, and now it's time to go. Now I gotta teach. Microwave Valley turned into Silicon Valley. Right? So really, that's Radio Wave Valley turning to Silicon Valley, right? Because Silicon Valley is developing all the tech to run on the radio waves. What is the most high-powered technology that has ever been produced so far in anywhere, pretty much? Because mind you, before you say AI, before you say some fancy quantum robot, some old ridiculousness, understand science runs on a principle. Life runs on a principle opposite to science. Remember, I told y'all my number one problem with science. Duplicatable, reproducible. Duplicatable, reproducible. What is the most high-powered technology that is mass producible? Cellular. Cellular. Cellular is the thing that's below radio waves. I'll let you deal with that. So time and space Light and sound exist in my mind only. Radio waves smaller than that is in the cell. Wait. Okay, Father Allah, right? Father Allah, right? He has something in common with Jesus. Now I know y'all like, wait a minute, that sounds blasphemous. What are you talking about? Father Allah got something in common with Jesus? Yeah, they got a famous line. Father Allah from the neighborhood, right? Black guy from the neighborhood. He got something in common with Jesus. What was they teaching people? What was Father Allah teaching people? He said, you are gods. You are gods. What is Jesus teaching people in the Bible? Jesus said out of his mouth, you are gods. Did you create the whole universe? You didn't create the whole universe. You didn't create the whole universe. Relax. It's always going to be order, right? But this, life, I need this to just sink in. It's just a lot. I know. Sinking in. It's a lot. It's all right. Listen, when you think about the observer effect, let's just let that happen for a minute. We'll just go to something else. Every time we get to, we're just going to go to something else. So let's go to something else. So the observer effect, right? The observer effect is about your observation. You're observing, right? You're observing does what? It collapses waves into particles, right? Collapses waves into particles. What does a neuron do? What does a neuron do? A neuron does what? Right? The calcium, right? The calcium, right? Moves in and out the cell, negative millivolts, right? You go negative 70 millivolts. Come on now, y'all gotta know all this. Negative 70 millivolts, the negative potential. You know, they're selling you negative ion machines and all that. You got a negative potential in the cell when it's healthy and blah, blah, blah. Right? Change the potential of the cell. So there's a chemiluminescent what? Light wave. Right? Because the voltage in the cell goes up and down. The voltage in the body of the neuron goes up and down. And there's a chemiluminescent light wave that's produced. And what happens with that light that's produced? That light is what? Collapsed into a particle called a neuro what? A neurotransmitter. I'm dead. Yo, I need to know if y'all awake out there. Are y'all listening? This is as everything is right in front of you, you know. You know why everything has to be right in front of you? Because you're creating this world. It only exists in your mind. So the inputs that you're fed are going to determine our collective reality. So if we get enough inputs from people we trust, right? So that's what like the college degree is like, basically like a hallway monitor badge, right? Why do we trust what you're saying? Oh, well, because this establishment right here qualified me to say it. Well, hold on. Who qualified them to qualify you? See, that 158th Street that's in me, that allows me to override programming. Yeah, it allows me to override programming. See, where you might not have that effort in you. The effort is like a program override. So I have a program override that's built in. So you might stop asking questions where I start asking questions. Like, oh no, I got a master's degree on this. I'm like, master's degree from where? Let me see that piece of paper. Flip. Here's your master. Oh, let me see your master's degree. Okay. Now, what was you saying again?
Yeah. Who qualified these people that qualified you? Religious people are the best. These guys say, oh, well, I got a PhD in theology from this school over here. Okay, well, hold on. I'm sure if we get a printout of all your classes and I start to check who those teachers is that gave you a master's degree in theology, I'm almost certain that half of them don't believe in God. Half of the teachers that half the teachers that qualified you as a theologist, they don't even believe in God. Some of them might be on drugs, some of them might be gay. So they ain't practicing none of this. Oh, but in theory, they've studied it. Got it. So they've theorized a relationship with God. They haven't actually built a relationship with God, but they've theorized it. And so based on them theorizing it, they've then told you about it. And now you're qualified based on a motley crew of goofballs to come tell me that, yeah, you know woo woo woo. No. Nope. Not buying it. Not buying it. We bought it too long. That's where the jig is up. Like, people don't realize this is why accountability has to, like, you have to have a short attention span. Because what happens is, like politics, a good example. If you remember all the promises your politician promised you, and then you hold them accountable to that, and then say they don't do it, or they only do a few of them. Well, they get ready. There's a politician, it's his job. So he can't stop being a politician. He got to do it again in 2 years or 4 years. He got to do it again. So now when you come around the next time and we go, oh, no. You didn't do us right the last time. What you doing here? The whole system fall apart. The whole system fall apart. The whole system based on you being dumb. And some of it is based on people being anonymous. Because once you figure out that the Satanist is also into politics, you got to go, wait a minute. This is how Jack Parsons. Okay, so when you in a social club, you're rubbing shoulders with people that's like minds with you. So it's not that Jack Parsons was in Aleister Crowley problem. That ain't how. What you got to ask is, who else was he in Aleister Crowley with that we just don't know about? Who plugged him in with the government contracts? How he get in the government? Who was his connect? When he in these meetings and they doing devil Satan, they invoking Satan and all that. When he look over to the left and he look over to the right, who is them people there that's like, yo, hit me up on Monday because I seen you developing that thing. We're gonna put that together. We're gonna run a play. What? Them people is in office? Yeah. The guys that invented the Baphomet is behind the socialist program. I told you, I was blown away when I found out that the NBA trophy was a Democrat trophy. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Larry O'Brien is a Democrat national chairman? So the NBA they're competing for the Democrat national chairman trophy. I told you. What are they packaging? They're harvesting your mind, packaging your mind, and then selling it to other folks. And so the guy that gets paid the most money is the guy that does what? That can get most of your attention. Right? So this is why they mad with KD, because KD has the talent to do so much more with his game. When they tell Kevin Durant, you're so talented, you could be doing much more with your game. What does that mean? So you don't know what that means because you don't understand the business. You think that means he could be scoring more baskets or winning more trophies. No.
what that means is he could be more outspoken. He could be more of a public figure, and he could do what? Attract more attention. And if he'd attract more attention, if he got more minds galvanized to look at him, to follow him, right? Followers, right? If he can get more followers, then we could pay him more money, because that's what an athlete does with their game. They mesmerize the people watching. So if you can mesmerize more people, you can make more money. Michael Jordan only was able to mesmerize people on the basketball court. Off the basketball court, he wasn't that good of a person. So nobody cared, right? So all his money he made on the court, between the lines. LeBron was able to take that to a whole nother level. Floyd Mayweather figured it out. What did Floyd Mayweather do? He was like, oh, wait a minute. So it only matters, this whole thing, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is how many people tune in. Hello? How many people do what? Tune in? How many people tune in to me? Okay, because I'm emitting a frequency. You tune in, then we resonate together. Right now, y'all tuned into me. I'm emitting a frequency. You're resonating with the frequency that I'm emitting. Yes, this is what's happening. So now if we tune in to power come on. We're resonating with the frequency of the drug dealers and the shooters and the killers. We turn on the music and we resonate with that energy. The killers, the shooters. You tune into Dr. EnQi, you're going to resonate with the frequency of a healer. And not just a healer. We on we're on God time. They on demon time. We on God time. The problem is the people on God time take God time for granted. The people on demon time never take time for granted. They pray every day. They pray every day. Every day they doing rituals. And they don't beef. Right? They got the same thing going on in Team Satan, like the same thing in Team God team. Like in the Muslims, they got different types of Muslims. The Christians got different types of Christians. You know, the Jewish folks, they got different types of Jewish folks. Satan team doesn't do that. They're not on that. They don't care. They come together and they do their thing because they know their larger agenda is the same agenda. So they just come together and do their thing. Now they break up and they go into their own separate bags. Okay, yeah, he like to do this type of ritual. He like to do that. Order of Golden Dawn over there. Church of Satan over there. So they all got their own. But with the program, they on the program. They know the program. They know the program. They on the program. They work together. They pool their money. They empower their people. Right? EnQi struggling. I gotta wrestle y'all out of a $20 cash app coming. Listen, God team, we don't really work together as like we supposed to be. Anyway, okay. I think we're making some progress. Okay, so over here is okay. You know what? Let's do this.
Ooh, let's go for the big one. Let's go for the big money. Let's go crazy. Let's go for the big money. Let's go for a big problem in Christianity. Let's go for a big problem in Christianity. What runs you away from the Bible? Right? What's the craziest stuff in the Bible that just can't figure out? Right? I know what the big one is. Now, I never had a problem with it. Because since I was a kid, it made sense to me. Since I was a kid, it made sense to me. I had my spots where I got confused because in my mind, I was like, my ideas must be too simple. So I had to learn to trust myself. I had to study and study and study so I could trust my instincts. The more I studied, the more I realized my instincts were all wise, right, and exact. But Trinity. Right? So we go here. Right? We go here. We go, okay. So science says that all life comes from that. Electromagnetic radiation. That's what science says. Right? The Bible says the same thing. The Bible says the same thing. It says God is light. It says Jesus is the light of the world. It says that God was the word. God made the word to become flesh. And all things was created through the word. What is the word? That should be the question. What is a word? That's the question to ask. If God made everything out of the word, what is the word? It'll be right over there. It'll be somewhere on them charts. You got you got mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves. That's it. There's nothing else. Right? So in the Trinity. The three, that's one. You got the three, that's one. And y'all know, I can't make this up. I've been telling y'all this for as long as you've been listening, I've been saying this. Right? This is the three, that's one. Right? Because guess what? Electricity creates what? Magnetism. This is why the three is one. Electricity creates magnetism. What does magnetism do? Magnetism creates what? Electricity. Guess what? When you have alternating electric and magnetic fields at right angles to one another, right? Right angles to one another. What's a right angle? Right? Right? So you got electric and magnetic. Guess what happens? You make light. Listen. Okay, let me show y'all this again. Let me show y'all this again. You have alternating electric fields and magnetic fields, right? Light is produced, right? Now, this is
this is what it would look like hypothetically if we was looking directly at it. If we was to turn this sideways, right? If we was to turn this sideways, then we would see the waves. Like you would see like the waves, like you would see the waves. You would see this is a set of waves, set of waves, set of waves, set of waves. Right? But looking directly at it is this. Yeah. Electric field, magnetic field, light. And guess what? The same way electric fields create magnetic fields and magnetic fields create electric fields. Well, guess what? Light can hit a conductor and be converted back into electric fields and magnetic fields. He is I am him, slim with the tilted brim. So the electric is the magnetic, the magnetic is the electric and the magnetic give birth to the light in turn gives birth to the electric and the magnetic, 3 in 1. And everything in the world is created from this. So I read the Bible, I'm like, oh yeah, yep, check, this is correct, yep, check, yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I don't see how anybody else does because it's correct. The problem is you read in the book, you don't realize it's a book that's layered. The information is layered. So you got to know what they're talking about. Right now, let's do this in a whole nother way. Let's do this in a whole nother way. God is the mover, right? The mover is the electric. The mover is the electric. So you think there's something else that's going on. I'm telling you, all the technology comes out of the Bible. I'm showing you like life, the longer we ignore this, because y'all can be like, oh, he got gold teeth. He from the Bronx. What school he went to learn this? See, that once you do all that, your brain is blocked. You can't get it. You can't get it. You don't have eyes to see, ears to hear. You're blocked. You can't get it. But you're going to be able to get the main bulletin points because there's nothing in this universe that's not on electromagnetism. Electromagnetic waves, mechanical waves, everything. Caleb! Is Chase here? Get your brother and tell him to take Ocean out. He's not here. You, boy, take Ocean out. All right. No blood clot this. So, everything in the universe that we know of, electromagnetic waves, mechanical waves, that's it, right? So now, how does technology work? Okay, so you have electric, right? Electric does two things, right? Electric is used for power, and electric is used for information, data. Right? Electric is used for power and data. Right? Electric is used for power and data. Now we got a little bit more advanced technology. So now they're starting to use light, right, more often. Right? We've been had fiber optic cables, right? So, right? So, electric, power, data, right? Got it. Now that we got a little bit more advanced, you even got some spots that's using magnetic, right? Even though it's not true, they're not charging your device with magnetism, right? They're still using electric to power your device. But what they're doing is putting a converter in your device. So if you got a phone, like an iPhone, you can sit it on a magnetic charger. That's because the iPhone has a converter built in. It'll convert the magnetic into the electric. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, easy. Right? That's what a speaker does. Microphone, speaker. Right? All right. Anyway, so now storing information. That's where magnetic. That's where the piece with the magnetic becomes important. Patterns of electricity creates information. Right? Patterns of electricity creates information. Right? So when you hit the keyboard, that's a pattern, right? How's that encoded? Binary coding, everything, just like your body. Right? So because all three of these are convertible, right? This doesn't move. This doesn't move. So because this doesn't move, you can store information, data here. You can store your data here in the magnetic field. And there's nothing else. There's nothing else. It's the three of them. Right? It's the three of them. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Remember, the Bible says it's as above, so below. So personification does not mean that there's not another level to it. So having a person, right? You could argue that Jesus is an actual person. That's fine. If you need to believe that Jesus is a person, that's okay. Or he was a person or some, that's fine. Because inside every one of your cells, remember, I'm FOTS, I'm FOTS, right? Founder of the soul, remember? I'm the one who said that ATP is not what our cells use for energy. Our cells do not use ATP. Our cells use what? Light. Our cells use light for energy. It's an exothermic reaction. Look it up in any textbook. When ATP drops into the cytoplasm and that phosphorus breaks off the end and it goes from ATP to ADP, losing that phosphate off the end is an exothermic reaction, meaning light is released into the cell. That energy that's released from that exothermic reaction is where it powers the cell. Can you go? Sure. Right? Light powers the cell. How is the ATP recycled? Electricity. How is the electricity conducted through the electron transport chain? Magnetism. Wait, run that back, Doc. Okay. I'm just showing you on every single level. It's this. It's nothing else. It's just this. When you go into the cell and you get to the electron transport chain, right? The electron transport chain, cytochrome 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? 5 don't really count because that's the turbine that makes all the magic happen with the ATP. So you got cytochrome 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are all 4 of those are heme groups. the same type of heme as your blood. And what does your blood need to work? Iron. Right? Iron.
So, oh, wait a minute. No, we checked and we looked it up, and the iron inside your blood is not magnetic.
Check again. Check again. What you saw was wrong. You didn't know what to look for. You don't see with your eyes and hear with your ears. You only see and hear with your mind. You got to know what to look for. That's the thing with a search engine. These search engines is nothing more than technology's version of divination. Every time we go to a search bar, we practicing divination. What do you think the people who were doing divination was doing? They was trying to figure out something they didn't know. So they throw the coins, they throw the stones, they throw the sticks. We go into the Google. Now you got AI. So you go into AI, Chat GPT. You're going, Chat GPT, what is this? I don't trust it. So I got the program. Listen, I'm cool with all that. I'm going right here. I'm just going to keep going to that program. I'm on this program. I don't care what they come out with. I'm on this. I'm on this. Because I keep staying ahead of the learning curve with this. I'd be ahead of the learning curve with this. And I've been ahead of the learning curve with this. When I was on the block, I knew when to leave the block. I was on this. Folks got shot. I didn't get shot. I don't have no bullet wounds. I don't have no story to tell about getting shot. Because for some reason or another, I was at the movies while I went to sleep. I was doing something else. Telling you, it's nothing else that's there, right? It's nothing else that's there. So each one of the heme groups is made out of what? Iron and sulfur. Iron and sulfur. So the iron and sulfur is moving the electrons. Moving the electrons allows the proton gradients to shift from the matrix to the outer matrix. And the protons is what powers the ATPase pump to put the ADP back to a phosphate. Grab that phosphate, because the phosphate doesn't go anywhere. It's just off of the molecule, right? So think of a molecule. Think of a pool stick with like 3 pool balls attached to it. It's weird, but just think of it that way. When the ATP goes into the cytoplasm, it's not like one of the pool balls disappears. It just breaks off. So now you have a pool stick with 2 balls on it, and 1 ball is floating around because the balls wasn't the energy. When the ball broke off, the breaking off released light. So now you got that loose ball floating, and the ADP is there. And so the turbine is going to grab that ADP and grab that loose ball, right? And it's going to put them back together again. That's an endothermic reaction. That's an endothermic reaction, meaning light is put into the molecule. Light is put into the molecule. So now that light is put into the molecule, it's ready to drop back into the cell and do what? That energy is released again. It's not released as, it's released as this. And it's this conducting this. And this is it. Right? It's just this. Right? So in your neurons, in your brain, in your heart, it's this. Interacting one with another. It's just magnetism interacting with electricity, interacting with light. So if you know what to look for and you want to look up the blood, say, EnQi said the blood is magnetic. He don't care what they'll say. EnQi didn't say magnetic exactly. So this is what you're going to look up. Oxygenized blood, right? The blood with oxygen is diamagnetic. It's diamagnetic, meaning it is pushed away from a magnetic field, right? Oxygenated blood is diamagnetic. So if you put a magnet next to it, it'll push away, right? Deoxygenated blood is paramagnetic. So that's temporarily magnetized, right? Temporarily magnetized. So what does that mean? That means if you put a magnetic field there, it's attracted. What book is that in? Doc, what book is that in? I'm going to show you what book that's in. Because you know all this is in books already. I want you to be able to look this stuff up and research it. I want you to be able to research this stuff. Y'all got to get the books out.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
Yo, I can't hold you. I love doing this. Like moving my books and stuff from room to room. Because I used to have piles of books like this. But now I wrote all these books. Oh, nigga, what? That was, yo, I'm telling you, when I was 13 or 14, that was everything to get like a chain with like a Jesus piece or something on it. Anyway, got this book right here. Music to My Ears. A heartbeat book. So that's how the blood is circulating, because your heart produces the strongest magnetic field in your body. So as the blood is oxygenated and it becomes more diamagnetic, it repels itself from the heart. As the blood circulates and the oxygen is, taken to the tissues, and the blood loses oxygen, the more oxygen it loses, the more paramagnetic it becomes. The more paramagnetic it becomes, the more it is drawn back to the strongest magnetic field you have in your body, the heart. Okay, just saying. So we got this. Like, oh my God, EnQi, this is crazy. I'm a Christian now. Everybody's like, hold up, I'm a Christian. EnQi, you got it. EnQi, you got it. I'm going to get me a Bible. I'm becoming Christian. I'm going to church. You better do it. Get locked in. Don't let these folks make you believe if you're a Christian, that means you can't study Egypt. Because the Egypt is the devil. Well, the brothers that study the Kemetic stuff saying the Christians is the devils. And guess what? No progress happening. You both sitting ducks because you're alone. See that? That's what I'm saying. The people on demon time, they work together. They don't have these problems. See, that's the power of the revelation of one God. I think we're missing the power of the revelation of one God. Yeah, we missed it. We missed the whole revelation of one God. We still stuck at the Tower of Babel. Language is still dividing the people. We don't get it. If it's one God, it don't matter if you call the God Jesus, Yahweh, Joseph, Allah. It don't matter because it's only one.
It's only one. And how do you know if it's the right one? Because technically it could be the devil, because it's one of them too. Well, do, 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 do. What's the signal you're getting? If you're a man and the signal you're getting is, ooh, look at Steve. Chances are, right? Or if you're one of those guys walking around and you constantly find yourself thinking, man, she gonna be delicious when she get older. How old is she now? About 12, 13? Man, she gonna be woo-wee. When she get older, I'm telling you. Chances are, you getting a signal from them people. Yeah. Chances are you getting a signal from them people. Yeah. That's just kind of how it goes. That's why your morality needs to be what? Your compass. Because your compass gonna get you. Where you going? East? Oh, no. You're going to the north. Oh, yeah, you're going to the north. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you. We going over here to the east, north. Okay, where you going over there? Okay, I'm gonna go this. It's just that simple. Discernment comes in. And free will. You get to go, okay, if I go down this way, this is what I'm gonna get. If I go down this way, that's what I'm gonna get. Okay, so I'm gonna go down this way. All right, go on ahead. Going down that road, see what you get. And maybe you go down that road once or twice. Who knows? We all kind of go down that road in different areas in our life once or twice, or maybe 10 times. Some of us got hard heads. But is your intention to continue to go down that road? Is your intention to live down that? Is that where your address is? Is your address down that road? If your address is down that road, you with them people. Yeah. The church, the mosque, the synagogue, this was the most divisive political campaign of all times. Churches split up, all kind of stuff happened. Why? Because you start putting sins and all that on the table. This started to have real conversation. Like, hold up, you've been in church. You've been in church with Judy. You've been in church with Judy for 15 years. You didn't realize till this election, y'all get to arguing, and Judy say something so crazy. You like, wait, what? Yeah, and that's why we gotta elect Kamala, because you're like, wait, so you in favor of that part of the plan? Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff between politicians that's never going to be right. They politicians. By nature, you can't trust them. Right? But some things it's like, okay, the ideal. Like, you want to do what to the kids? Okay, hold up. We forget, some people's not good with money. So what, y'all messed up the economy. That's cool. Everybody make mistakes. I'm saying, what you trying to do with these kids, though? Oh. So you with the kids. Okay. Yeah, you gotta get away. So it's not the politics, it's not Kamala, it's not any of that. It's people revealed ideals, things that they kept in their chests, things that they would never have said otherwise until this moment. And then you realize, like, wait, I thought we was fighting against the pipeline from school to prison. You mean you're in favor of the pipeline from school to prison? Oh. Well, that I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. See, when I find out you in favor of the open border, right, and the fentanyl coming into this country, 90% the fentanyl coming into this country coming across that Mexico border. And my little brother just died off of fentanyl and opioids. See, so we oil and water. We don't mix. I'm ready to drop a bomb on the border. Blow that border up. Anybody standing on it, just tell our people move away from the border. Just blow it up. Boom. Because it's real for me. It's no longer ideas on a TV screen. It's no longer ideas. No longer ideas in the TV. Right? But it's not real for people. They get to trivialize it. Okay, woo, this is that. You about to do what to these kids? It just becomes that simple, right? All right. I know some of y'all watching like, hold up, y'all. But the cross, the cross is a copy from the Ankh. Now do one of those fancy, tricky things you just did right there with the cross with the Ankh, Doc. Let's see if you could do that. Show us another trick. First of all, that wasn't a trick. When those waves collapse, all right, let's do it like this. Because I know y'all want to see the Ankh thing. I know it. Even if you don't say it out loud, I know it. Okay, so okay, so you have a charged particle. Right, we're going to make the charged particle everybody's favorite, the electron. Right, because moving electrons, electricity. Basically, simplified, kind of, sort of, right? We got that. Right? Now, we're going to add us in a magnetic field line. Right? If an electron is moving parallel to a magnetic field line, the electron will keep moving parallel in perpetuity until interrupted. Wait, that sounds like Newton's. You better stop that. Right? There's some parallel, some horizontal. Right? Okay. So magnetic field line. As soon as I write it, I'm going to erase it. Because I need the space. I just want y'all to be able to see it one time for the one time. All right? So there's that. Right? We're going to do this a few different ways. Right? So there's that. Right? Okay. You got that. Right? All right. Let's make the magnetic field line like this. Right? We're going to just say, instead of me writing it out, we're going to go magnetic field line. Instead of the NFL, the MFL. Right? Now, we're going to have the electron going to travel this way. So instead of side by side, we're going to have the charged particle instead running into the magnetic field line, right? Guess what it does? The electron runs into the magnetic field line. Right? It begins to spin around this magnet. It rotates around the magnetic field line. Right? The electron will rotate around the magnetic field line. I want you to just pay attention for a second. Just absorb it. Just absorb it. Just let it happen to you. Okay. Now, this rotating charge is going to create a small little micro. It's not a vortex, but I'm just using that for lack of a better term, right? Because this charge is rotating here. It has a rotating charge field here. This is the same thing that the sperm do after the first sperm get into the egg. And the light is released. Circumambulation. You never figured out, like, we're religious folks, that just kind of came into religion and nobody knows what are they commemorating and celebrating? Why is that like a standard thing in our religion? Because it's celebrating life. And life mirrors what happens in the underworld of Osiris. I mean, the quantum world. Right? So, and this goes from either way. It doesn't matter. Right? I don't know how to draw this better, but kind of got to. That's it. It's nothing else but magnetism, electricity, and what? Light. Light. And what is most of the universe? It's this. And the argument about what to call this is the problem, but it's this. All right? What do they call this? Plasma. What is plasma? Something that they don't really know what to call. What is plasma? Something they don't really know what to call. Okay. You got solid, liquid, gas. Right? Solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas. It's about how tight the atoms are. How tight the atoms are is basically all based on the behavior of the electrons. Right? It's really all it comes down to. What are the electrons doing? Right? And the further away, the more fluid, the more movement the electrons have, that's where you move from solid to liquid to gas. except for water. Just leave water out of it. Everything else will make sense. If you introduce water, nothing makes sense. So just leave water out for a little while. Wrestle with the basics before you start adding in water. Right? Solid, liquid, gas. When you get to plasma, right? Plasma in the cosmos, not necessarily plasma inside you just yet. It's a little slightly different, right? Well, really different, but slightly different. You get the plasma in the cosmos, the electrons are just doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing. But somehow they're together. That's plasma's like spooky action at a short distance. That's plasma's like spooky action at a short distance, because plasma, the electrons is like loose, but they're not. It's like an open relationship. It's like a bunch of open relationships. Like they look single, but they're not really single, right? It's kind of like that, right? And so all of the basic rules still kind of apply, just more loosely, right? You're still going to have alternating electric and magnetic fields produce. If you have some sort of medium, right, a conductive medium, that light can still be broken back down into electric and magnetic fields. The electric and magnetic fields still going to operate at a 90-degree angle to one another. So you need a medium. You need a medium. This is why your enzymes require metals, right? That's why your enzymes require metals. Your brain requires metals. Your body requires metals to interact with the light, the electricity, and the magnetism. There's nothing else. All life is based on this program. There's nothing else. It's light, it's electricity, it's magnetism. It's nothing else. What you got? You got the information. Where's the information at? The information is coming in one of these two packets. Information is going to come in one of these two packets. It's going to be stored in the magnetic field. Well, we showed earlier in the Bible the thoughts of your heart, right? We got the Ib. Where's the Ib book? I have my Ib book right here. I should have my Ib book somewhere. Nope. I don't know where that Ib. Oh, right here. Yeah. Right? So in the Bible and in Egypt, they told you the heart generates the mind. And what does science say? The heart has the strongest magnetic field. Okay, so if P, then Q. We just got to add 2 + 2 to be 4. The mind, magnetic, it stores where the information is at. Information is there. Okay, here's another way you can test that theory, right? Your information, your experiences, knowledge, all that is stored in your mind, right? Football players know about this better than anybody. You hit somebody really hard, or they hit you really hard in the head. You get a concussion. Guess what happens? You temporarily can't remember anything. Temporarily, you lost your memory. The trauma, the physical trauma to the physical brain, after it heals up, poof, the memory's back. Why is that? That's because the information wasn't stored in your brain. The information, your brain accesses the information. It accesses the information, but it's not stored right there. You got your own cloud. Cloud based on you. Everything based on you. There's no better technology than this in the universe. No better technology than this in the universe. Light, electricity, magnetism. How do they check to see if your heart is working? What do? They put the EEG on it, right? So they could check the electricity. How do they check if your brain is working? They put the MEG on it to check the magnetism, right? Light, electricity, magnetism. So nothing else is going on. So there's no contradiction in the Bible. There's no contradiction. The Trinity, the Word became flesh. We know the Word became flesh. Yeah, we know the Word became flesh. Because your skin, your flesh absorbs what? Mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves. And the more options you have, and the more melanin you have, the better your skin is at that. And we know it translates to real-time blessings in real life, real wealth. Why? Because everybody can dream at night. So if you dream at night, you take that for granted, you don't understand what real value is. Right? The ability to go to sleep and have a dream, that's value. That's a blessing. Everybody cannot do that. If you a person that could dream and you could feel music, everybody cannot feel music. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody cannot feel music. I grew up in a way where I cannot imagine living in a world where I couldn't feel music. I could only hear it. That's crazy. That's how I know when I like a song, when I get goosebumps. When I get goosebumps, I know that's it right there. I don't care what it is. I know it's something about, that's it right there. That's getting ready to go on repeat. I'm getting ready to wear that out. I'm getting ready to play that until when I get the goosebumps, in my mind, I thought everybody could get that. I thought everybody heard the certain song they really liked, and then they got goosebumps. I thought that was at the favorite part, you got goosebumps. I thought at your favorite part, you got goosebumps. Everybody don't have that. You don't realize the gifts you got because they was free. So because they was free, you didn't appreciate it. Everybody doesn't have the ability to feel music. Some people never got goosebumps from a song before, ever. Not once. Some people get it all the time from songs. Some people rarely. Some people more blessed than others with music. Some people can't stop themselves from having lucid dreams. They lucid dream almost every night. Some people never have had a lucid dream before, ever. There are people that walking around. There's people at your job, in your school. There's people in your building. There's people watching this video probably. They don't know what it is to have a dream. They've never had a dream before. When they go to sleep, they just wake up the next day. They've never had a dream before. I can't even imagine that. There's people that cannot see a vision in their mind. If you say, hey, everybody, imagine a red apple. They can't imagine a red apple. They can't imagine anything in their mind. Their mind doesn't work that way. They can't dream. They can't imagine. That's hell. That's hell. If you walking around and you can't dream and you can't imagine and you can't feel music, bro, I don't know about you. I don't know. Jury's out with you. Yeah, the jury's out with you. I don't know what's up with you. You ain't fully alive. But my dad taught me when I was learning how to drive to see things differently. Because when I was first learning how to drive, I was cussing everybody out that was driving. And my father was like, yeah, everybody else is dumb, right? I was like, man, that's why I love you, Dad. Because you know. He was like, no, I don't agree with you. You're looking at the blessing wrong. If everybody else is slow, and that means you could think faster than them, You shouldn't be cussing them out because they're slower. Instead, you should be thanking God you faster. I was like, did he just Jedi mind trick? Did he just trick? You just Jedi mind trick? Extrapolate that out. Big picture. Maybe something's not wrong with everybody else. Maybe you blessed. Right? These is the treasures of the spirit. These is the blessings of the spirit. Right? Some people's tall. Yeah. Some people's tall. I'm not going to be 6'10". I'm not going to be 6'11". Cool. But I got, I like the line theory. You know, like how they say when they was giving out certain stuff before you was born. Some people, like, they skipped certain lines. They went and got on the tall line. So they got like 3 servings of tall. They may not be able to, their mind might not be able to. They went and got 3 servings of tall. I skipped tall line. I just got a little bit of tall. I was like, let me get a little. Yeah, I just take whatever. Just give me the regular. Just give me the average. Yeah, I'll take the regular. On the mind line, I went around, got back on that line again. Woo, I kept getting on that line. I kept getting back on that line. I was like Solomon. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I got a choice of all this stuff there? Okay, if I get on that line, that stuff there is going to wear out about 30. If I get on that line, I might be able to get a few dollars with that, but then I ain't going to be able to do nothing with it because I'll be dumb as hell. I'm going to just keep getting on this line. Can I just keep getting on this line? I think I just want to keep getting on this line over. Can I just stay on this line? Well, you get your server, you got to go to the back of the line and wait again. I'm cool. I think I'm going to just stay on this line right here. This is a good line. I like this line. Hey, be happy with what you got. You don't know what you're missing. All right, be happy with what you got. You don't know what you're missing. It's only 3 things, though. It's light, magnetism, electricity. So if we anthropomorphize these and make these into people, okay. Why do we do that? Because we turn the science into a story as a mnemonic device. So we anthropomorphize, right? That's the whole idea with ancient Egypt. They go, oh, in ancient Egypt, they worship multiple gods. No, they didn't. The netters represented powers, forces. So that's like us looking at the periodic table and somebody saying, oh, you worship multiple gods. Look at all those elements on the periodic table. You're like, yo, these ain't gods. What's wrong with you? Yeah, but you said the whole world is made out of those elements. So what? This ain't God, though. God made these elements. Oh, okay. But I speak English. I'm here. I'm alive. I can speak for myself. I can defend myself. A civilization 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, we got to deal with whatever the thieves didn't get and nature didn't wither away and try to make out what they meant by whatever they meant. I mean, we could use the Trinity and say that the Christians worship multiple gods. No, you don't worship one God. You worship multiple gods because there's 3 in one. The 3 is both as gods, right? And technically you said Jesus is God and the Father is God. So that's more than one, which means that's polytheism. Somebody from the outside will always be able to misinterpret what your thing is from the inside. The problem is where people feel qualified on the outside of a thing to tell you what's going on the inside of a thing. That's where it gets crazy. That's why I'm like, hold on. How is y'all listening to Arturo Salas Herrera explain melanin? He went to college and ran a few experiments in the lab. He'd been studying melanin for about 5 or 10 years. I'm 47. I've been living in melanin for 47 years. I think I know how it goes. I'm gonna tell you how this melanin works. I know about this melanin because not only have I been living in it for 47 years, but everybody in close proximity, I've been watching them. So when I look at my kids, they all melanin experiments. When I look at my daddy and my uncle and them, I know I got hundreds of years of melanin of knowledge. You went into a lab and you played around with melanin inside a petri dish for a few months and you wrote a paper and now you got to relax. What you're supposed to do is bring that to the pros. You're supposed to bring that to the pros. You're supposed to let me check it off. And then if I approve it, then you got something going on. You're looking at the melanin in a container. I am contained in the melanin. The melanin is my container. Like, y'all are confused. Qualifications and resumes, we gotta totally reevaluate how we qualify in resumes around here. You studied the Bible, the words of it. You got somebody that been an active Christian, an active Jew, an active Israelite their whole entire life. You just studied the words. You ain't did one prayer. You ain't said a prayer over your dinner in the last 10 years. You don't even know what it is to pray over your food before you eat it. How you can't? Have you ever got on your knees and put your head to the ground and prayed like a Muslim? So how can you what you know about Muslims?